Yo, how's it going, guys? Are you guys ready for the the super monkey? Oh my god, yeah. I'm ready for the super monkey. Oh my god, lag. Oh my god. Anyways, where should you put a super monkey? Well, normally you want to put a super monkey somewhere near the middle of the map, obviously, because super monkeys can get their range to increase once and twice all the way this big. They can pretty much see everything on the entire map almost, and not completely, but almost. And especially it depends where you put it, but it can see a lot of the map, and they're usually always shooting, so they have a big range, and that's kind of important. So you usually want to put it somewhere in the middle of the map. Now that being said, you usually don't want to put it like all the way down here or all the way up here. It really doesn't help. Straight lines don't matter, so just put it somewhere in the middle. It really doesn't matter that much because they can shoot so fast and they can shoot so accurately, and that's why super monkeys are good in general. So first of all, a 0-0 super monkey, which I'm going to put like right over here. I think that's a pretty good spot. 0-0 super monkey, is it good? Now 0-0 super monkey for the price really isn't that amazing. It does not have that much popping power. If you get a monkey village, 0-1 monkey village, it does help a bunch though. It can pretty much double this guy's popping power because every single shot doesn't pop one balloon, it pops two balloons. So keep that in mind. Monkey village 0-1 helps a bunch. And let me just show you that really fast. I will send out just like 2 zebra balloons. And it takes them a little while to pop those. Now if you have this and you send out 2 zebra balloons, it pretty much pops them a lot faster, to say the least. So keep that in mind if you're going to use this monkey, this guy right here. You might want to just get that. It doubles it. So you can use a lot of these guys, just like mass a couple of these with one of those monkey villages, and it can be actually pretty effective, surprisingly. It can be pretty effective if you get that. Each one of these shots do double damage and they shoot pretty darn fast. So yeah, a 0-0 monkey can actually be effective. Surprising to people, somewhat surprising. And also they're actually pretty good versus Moabs. They're not amazing versus Moabs, but they are pretty good versus Moabs. So if you need some Moab popping power, this guy can help. Now the monkey village does not help for getting more Moab popping power, but it does help with just regular popping power. And if you notice, it can pretty much pop this Moab pretty much with 0 upgrades. It did pop the Moab with 0 upgrades and get some shots on the ceramics. And as well as being good versus Moabs, it's good versus ceramics because it shoots so fast it can pop the ceramics and the Moabs. So yeah, 0-0 monkey, boom! It's actually more effective than you think. I think a lot of people are just like, 0-0 super monkey, I would never get that. No, I would disagree. You want to get that. Now on the other hand, laser blasts. Oh my god, this is one of my least favorite upgrades in the game. $3,500 for laser blast. It says it pops 2 times as many balloons, but it sure doesn't seem like it. I mean, that's just my opinion, but it sure doesn't seem like it. I mean, it'll pop a Moab in the same amount of time and all that, but it just doesn't seem like it's as effective to me. Now, I prefer 2 super monkeys over a laser vision, but usually what you want to do is you get laser vision because you're saving up for this freaking amazing upgrade, Plasma Blast. Now laser vision can pop frozen balloons as well, so you might say, okay, if I have a lot of ice, I'm going to use these Plasma Blasts. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But also that means actually getting 2 super monkeys, which is about the same price. I mean, it's $4,000 for a super monkey and $3,500 for the laser vision, is actually probably more effective if you have a monkey village, 0-1 monkey village, than just getting laser vision by itself. And this guy should have 3 popping power per shot, while this guy should have 2 popping power per shot. So you see the difference right there. It's 2 versus 3, and you're facing a 3,500 upgrade. So that's another important thing about the super monkey. And that's why I keep bringing up monkey villages, because monkey villages sometimes they really don't matter too much, because it's like, oh, it already has 6 popping power, it's getting 1 more, so it has 7 popping power. Well, this guy's going from 1 popping power to 2 popping power and 2 to 3 popping power. So, and it shoots so fast, so it actually does matter quite a bit. The next upgrade is the Plasma Blasts, and this is a super awesome upgrade. If you're gonna get a super monkey, you're pretty much guaranteed gonna get Plasma Blasts. Plasma Blasts shoot much faster. I think they shoot 2 times as fast as either laser vision or just a 0-0 dart monkey, and you can see that with this Moab getting popped right here. As well, I don't know how much popping power each shot has, but let's just say it does have a lot of popping power. Now if you notice, that super monkey over there could barely pop the Moab, and this guy's going to pop every single balloon inside of the Moab. Or, yeah, it popped every single balloon inside of that Moab, so just 2-0 super monkey can pop the Moab. Now, that being said, it is more expensive than the other ones. It is $5,000. Is it $5,000 or $4,500? I think it's $5,000. Yeah, $5,000 for this Plasma Blast upgrade, which means, obviously, it's pretty expensive. It's even more expensive than buying a Super Monkey, but it's super duper 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 helpful. It can pop Moabs twice as fast, and it can pop all the balloons in them very easily. So what I say, get a bunch of 0-0 Super Monkeys or get a Plasma Blast? Definitely get the Plasma Blast. Helps with the balloons, helps with the Moabs. It doesn't have any negatives to it. Also, then you get a Sun God. And now this is one of those upgrades where people kind of get confused. They say, should I use Sun Gods or should I use Plasma Robos? And now Sun Gods are actually one of those towers that are kind of underestimated. Now Sun Gods are pretty helpful in certain circumstances. Now Sun Gods are not as good as Roboplasmas versus the Moabs, and I understand that. But it can pop and shoot more Moabs at once because of its, if you'll notice, it shoots kind of in like a spray. It shoots like a giant spray instead of just shooting in one straight line. Which, let me show you that one more time, just with something that'll survive just a little bit longer. So yeah, it pops pretty much the same time as the Plasma, just a regular Plasma Monkey, so it doesn't really have that much more popping power. But it can actually shoot, because it has such a spray shot, it can shoot more Moabs than a Roboplasma. And in essence, this could possibly have more Moab popping power just based on that fact alone. Now, normally, I would say it doesn't. It doesn't have more Moab popping power, and that's true like 99.9% of the time, but it could possibly have more Moab popping power. So just keep that in mind. If you can use it in the correct way, it can be. The Sun God is not that good versus Moabs, like stated before. It says almost only as good as like a Plasma Vision, but this guy can pop anything ceramics and under so easily. It's very, very good versus anything under Moabs. And on levels like 63 and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure this guy can take out all those balloons alone. Even level 78, if it has a radar detection, I think you can take out level 78 pretty much with just this guy right here. And now there's a BFB that comes too, but I'm talking about the camo ceramics that all come. All those can be taken out by one single Sun God. And that means that the Sun God actually sometimes is actually better near the end of the map. Depending on how the map is set up. It's a little bit closer to the end of the map. Now you have to remember that it can get 2 range upgrades, which means you really don't need to put it somewhere like right down here near the end of the map, but you know, depending on the map, somewhere a little bit closer to the end of the map, which means something's going to pop the Moabs, and then this guy's going to pop all the ceramics and anything that comes out of those Moabs. So that's pretty much the basics about the Sun God. The next upgrade is the Temple of the Monkey God. And now people get really confused about the Temple of the Monkey God, and you know what? It confuses me as well. I actually did not know the best way to get a Temple of the Monkey God until I checked the forums, or people told me. And I used to just make a bunch of these bomb towers, and I would get Moab Maulers and put them around him, and it seemed like it actually worked pretty well, and I would get really strong temples. I used to get them, and then I started mixing in a couple other things, like the glue and the ice, or the glue and the ice, and the Monkey Village, and that helped a bunch. And now let me explain to you really, really freaking fast what I think is the best tower. And this is kind of confusing because people tell me different things all the time. When I look at the forums and I look at the person who I trust the most, they tell me that 3 of the mortars, which are the same thing as the Moab Maulers for killing Moabs, or shooting those little Moab balloons out, they tell me that a 4-0, or actually no, I'm sorry, a 0-4 is actually enough money to get a super temple on hard. And the reason that is because you spend $10,000 on this guy, and you spend $30,000 in total. Now this is different for easy and medium. You need to spend even more money on easy or medium. Or not more money, but more. You need to put more into your towers. For example, I guess, well, I'll put it this way. This guy costs more than $10,000. This guy costs more than $10,000, and this guy costs like $13,000 or something like that. It's a bit more money. So on easy, you might have to get these guys, but on medium or hard, these guys should suffice in getting your $30,000 required for the strongest Moab Mauler shots. And that's what I personally believe, that's what people have been telling me, and that's what I've seen on the forums. So getting three of these guys right here is enough to get the strongest Moab shooting out. You do not need to get big ones, and you do not even need to upgrade these two things right over here. Just a 0-4 should suffice. And then the next one is the glue, which I've been told that the best way to get it is just to get a 4-2 glue gunner. I don't know why you can't get the other side, but people don't say to use that, so yeah, like I said, I don't really understand the temple 100%, but this is what I've seen or heard. Just get a 4-0 glue gunner, and then get a 4-0 ice tower, and then get a monkey wizard that is also 4-0. You don't need to upgrade the two sides on the right. I've been told that you don't need to upgrade them on the right side, but I usually just have enough money, so I do it just to be safe. And I don't know which people to believe. Some people tell me this, some people tell me that. And if you guys want to get an argument in the comments, go ahead. I really won't care. I'll find it funny, but don't argue with me. You can argue with each other about how you think the best is. That's why I'm saying I might be wrong. Don't yell at me, but this is the best way I've been told. And then you also have to get the 3 mortars. Okay, and those I just upgraded to 0-4, not 2-4, even though it's only like $500 difference, really, so it doesn't really matter too much. And then this thing that's important is if you get a temple with just 1, 2, 3, just a regular sun god, not upgraded with the ranges, the temple will have not that big of a range, but it will have a reasonably big range. It'll be bigger than this, but not huge. And then, but on the other hand, if you get the 2 range upgrades before you upgrade the temple, you'll have a lot bigger range. You'll probably have a range almost the entire size of the screen. But that being said, it's going to sacrifice all the towers within its range right now. So if you have a tower like this, it will sacrifice everything in this range, but if you have towers like over here and over here, it will not sacrifice them. But if you get these 2 range upgrades, it'll sacrifice everything in this black range right here. So you kind of have to be careful with that. If you're using like a tower in the corner like over here, you can usually get the 2 range upgrades and not sacrifice anything of too much importance. But also, that being said, sometimes if you're going for a lot of temples, after you get this temple over here, just for example, your next tower right here is going to have to be kind of like right here, and it shouldn't delete that temple. And you can get temples really close to each other, and I mean, obviously you would put towers around them and get max temples, but that means you could get towers pretty darn close instead of getting the 2 range upgrades, and then he'll sacrifice this tower right here. See, and that's bad news. So you usually don't want to do that. If you want to get a lot of temples, you got to put them reasonably close together and not get the range upgrades. You get towers that almost touch, or if I've seen towers touch. So, not towers, temples. I've seen temples touch. So yeah, should be the max temple right here. Like I said, a 4-0 wizard, 4-0 ice, 4-0 glue, 0-4 mortar, 3-0-4 mortars, and then a 4-2 super monkey. So that should be the max temple, and he obviously is good. I mean, you know, best tower in the game by far. Can pop pretty much infinite BFBs and lots of Oh My Gods and all that. One other thing about it is if you get the range upgrades after you upgrade the temple, so let's say you get like this guy right here, you sacrifice him all the way, You notice his range is pretty small right now. You can still upgrade the range, but it's not going to be as much as this guy. It's not as big. If you notice, the circle is not quite as big. It's still pretty big, but this is actually better. So get the range upgrade before you upgrade your tower if you want it to have the max range, compared to getting it after you'll still have a pretty big range. So that was a lot about the Monkey Temple, but I could make a whole entire video and scenario about the Monkey Temple. I can make a lot about it, but I mean, I'm trying to keep this video somewhat short. Roughly 20, less than 25 minutes for sure. This is probably going to be the longest video, though, even longer than the Glue Gunner video. The next ones are the 2 range upgrades, which obviously, if you're just getting regular 0-0 Super Monkeys, it's usually not that important to get the range upgrades, but once you get the Plasma or Sun Gods, or especially the Temple of the Monkey God, you probably want to get the range upgrades. And the range upgrades are a lot compared to some of the other towers. They're pretty expensive, though, so you kind of want to use them to the best. You want to make sure you know what you're doing when you use them. I mean, they can get pretty darn big. And then usually why you get the range upgrades is not because you have a Plasma Monkey, but because you either have a Sun God, or this guy right here, a Robo Monkey. And now Robo Monkeys are pretty freaking intense. I think you guys know about that. Robo Monkeys are one of the main towers that people use in pretty much every scenario. Deflation, they use them quite a bit. They're not the best thing for deflation, but you can't use them. And then there's hard and medium. They're very, very effective. So anywhere from 46 to like 65, or even like longer than that, 46 to 70. You could probably get by with just like one Robo Monkey and maybe a couple other support towers. Obviously, you need a 0-2 Monkey Village for the Robo Monkey, but I mean, it helps the cost efficiency of this guy anyways. And a regular Robo Monkey, just a 0-3 Robo Monkey, is not unbelievably amazing. It can still has quite a bit of popping power. It's not terrible. It got nerfed. It used to be stronger, but it has quite a bit of popping power. But obviously, a 2-3 Robo Monkey is going to have a lot more popping power. This is basically a bunch of ceramics. It can pop them a lot easier. So a 0-3 Robo Monkey, effective versus Moabs, does not have as much popping power. The real difference between the 0-3 and the 3-3 is the popping power, really not the Moab popping power. And let me show you that difference really fast. We're just going to send out a BFB and see where it pops. We're going to just have this 0-3 guy out here first, see where the BFB pops. None of the Moabs, I don't know where the Moabs are going to pop. I just want to see where the BFB is going to pop. And the BFB pops right around here. So like right at this line right here is where it pops. And now let me show you the difference between that and a Robo Plasma. There should not be a difference, or if anything, a big difference. And I put them in roughly the same spot. So the Robo Plasma pops the BFBs quite a bit earlier. And that's because, like I was saying before, that the darts come out not as fast as the Plasma. So just the regular darts are not as fast as the Plasma. Which means the BFB pops probably right around twice as fast as the darts. And I didn't mess up. I misspoke. I meant to say it was faster. I'm sorry, guys. Then, the next thing you want to think about is the Technological Terror. This guy also has two arms, and supposedly they aim independently, but they don't really aim independently. They 99% of the time aim right at the same spot, and that's just because there's really only one monkey, and they got that a little bit better at like targeting better, but it's really not amazing. The Technological Terror, definitely interesting. Now the Technological Terror has the same upgrade as the 0-4 Monkey Ace, where it pops pretty much everything in its range. And let me show you that really fast. He's probably going to pop some of these guys, though, instead of the Monkey Ace. The Monkey Ace doesn't pop all the BFBs and all that. But this guy pops everything in its range, not everything on the screen, which is also a difference. And if, let's say, you have like some BFBs out of its range, like over here, he will not be able to use his ability and pop those guys. This guy's really strong. Very, very, very good Moab popping power. His Moab popping power is very intense. His popping power is reasonable but not amazing. And that's just a 0-4 technological terror, which I believe, if I remember correctly, somebody told me has a popping power of 5. But if you upgrade to a laser blast, I believe I was told that it has a popping power of 6, and a plasma technological terror, has a popping power of 7 per shot. And that, I believe, does not affect the Moab popping power, I believe, but it does have a lot to do with the popping power. So, like I say, this guy, the only reason he's good is because of this upgrade. I personally do not like just this regular technological terror. In my personal opinion, you can argue with me if you want, but in my personal opinion, this guy right here is not that good. I would use either regular plasmas, regular roboplasmas, or get a sun god instead of this guy. And I mean, his popping power is pretty decent, but I would the ability is just, it depends. You could use the ability on some levels and make it work really well, and then you could use it on some levels and be like, oh crap, it didn't work as well as I thought, and I wasted a lot of money, and then I lost. That's why I don't like abilities. That's why I don't really like technological terror. It's not because he's bad, because I don't like the ability factor in him, where I have to wait another 45 seconds or whatever just to use him again. So, just to recap, if you're going to use Super Monkeys, you usually want to just use regular 2-3 Roboplasmas to beat most of the Moabs. They have very good Moab popping power. As well, you probably want to use a Sun God somewhere near the end of the map, because he has good ceramic popping power compared to Moab popping power. And then, if you're getting really late game, going to free play rounds and that, you want to get a Temple of the Monkey God maxed out. And obviously that's the best way to lower lag and get to far levels. One Temple of the Monkey God can get to around 150, no problemo. I think that's really all. Again, I misspoke a little bit about the 0-3 Robo-Monkey compared to the 2-3 Robo-Monkey. I meant to say that the 2-3 Robo-Monkey pops the Moabs just a little bit faster than the 0-3. Forgive me for my mistakes again. I hope this was a good enough explanation. And if you guys actually, just to mention this, because not a lot of people are probably still here watching, just to mention this, it's actually really easy to type out an entire thing about the Super Monkey and tell you what the best things are and everything like that and make a guide. You know what's a lot harder to do? Is to take it all from the top of your head and talk it out in words. So that's why I'm trying to do the best of my ability to do it for you guys, to talk it out in words. If you guys try to do it, I can guarantee you probably would mess up a little bit as well. I know I mess up a couple times here and there. I hope you guys don't mind that I mess up just a little bit. I usually correct myself. I usually catch myself in the act. But I'm sorry if I mess up just a little bit. That's really all I got to say. Thanks for watching and have a really nice day.